what doesn't take a day is Chris Hemsworth getting that big for Thor. That takes a lot more than a day. And he wants to keep doing it, apparently, because he says as long as it's fun, he's going to keep going. And we know the original Avengers, a lot of them are disappearing, but Chris Hemsworth's been kind of a staple. He's had a lot of fun with it. He's been reinvigorated as Thor, as he's been working with Taika Waititi, and it's been great for him. But apparently he was talking down at a sit down about this new one, Love and Thunder, and he said, okay, it was a little bit too silly, he was saying in an interview recently. He goes, that's probably why it didn't do as well. And he's got a little fatigue with the character too. And he said when this happens, he usually just needs to change things up a little bit, and then maybe he'll be fine coming back to it. And of course, he said he's open to it. He goes, I have no idea if I'll do it, but I've said it before, it depends on the type of story. It has to be something unique. But what it comes down to is the character has to be something that's interesting. It has to change it, and he has to feel some new revigoration for it. So, but he's definitely excited about coming back to do more Thor, and I think he will. Even this interview too, he's talking about Love and Thunder, but like at the end of Love and Thunder, they said Thor will return, and even Taika Waititi's like, I didn't know they were returning. They didn't tell me that. So when he watched the end credits, he's like, what? He's returning? No one told me about this. Even Chris Hemsworth, like, he's returning, which is kind of hilarious. But for me, I'm like, hell, of course he's going to return. He's doing a lot of stuff, but it's a big character for him. You can tell he's having fun with this. So it only makes sense that he would come back to it if the story's right. We have so much happening with Marvel, with this multiverse, with the Infinity War, or I should say the Secret Wars, I should say. There's so many wars, all the wars. I just heard recently they're going to do Secret Wars Part 1 and 2 and make it 2 movies. That's something I just heard too, which could be interesting. I don't know, though, this multiverse maybe needs to be 2. But Thor will return, he's saying. Well, Marvel's saying, he's saying probably. Sabrina, what do you think? Should he come back to be Thor, or should he be done with this finally and move on?
I mean, I don't know how you can ever be done with something like this, considering the way that they work these Marvel movies. It's a kind of like has this Star Wars situation where, like, you will still see, like, Hayden Christensen is still playing fucking Darth Vader at this point. You know what I mean? Or Anakin, whatever you want to fucking call him. I don't really give a shit. But my point is that I don't really feel like it will ever end. And like, if Marvel came to you and they were like, can you just do a pop-in really quick in this big war, and like you just have to swing your hammer a few times for like $8 million, I'll be like, okay, cool, I'll see you on Tuesday. I don't really think it's going to be a big fucking deal. I don't think it's going to be, like, this whole conversation about it is kind of weird if you ask me. And the fact that like the movie that is coming out literally right now is Extraction 2, because he did Extraction 1, for him to say he doesn't want to play the same character is kind of stupid. And also, he's played Thor, like, I know several times, but the first 2 Thor movies were very, very different than Ragnarok. And Ragnarok was fucking dope, by the way. One of my favorite superheroes of all time, or superhero movies of all time. Kate Blanchett was amazing. Anthony, I mean, it was fucking the perfect difference between like funny and quirky and amusing to like super serious and like the proper villainry and like the proper amount of heart, which is kind of hard. You know what I mean? Like there was just the guy who plays Butcher. I wish I knew his name. He was great in that. It was like such a great ensemble. Thank you so much. Perfect ensemble cast. Idris Elba was amazing. And you still have Loki wandering around in the Marvel universe, like very prominently. So I just don't see a world where he is not going to have to pop in again. And I know the character evolved very much between the first 2 movies to the second 2 movies. And it was also very different in the Secret Wars, Infinity Wars, when he was like all fat and, lost his way and then came back and was like, in the beginning of Love and Thunder, he was like some like guru, like,
figured it out.
Austin Powers-y character. Like, I know the character has had a lot of evolution, but I think if you just went back to the Ragnarok Thor, which is the one that was the most successful and the best representation of you as that character, if you had to do a pop-in, I think you should absolutely do a pop-in. Like, I think so too.
Like, why would he stop ever doing this? Why would he stop?
Yeah. And it's not, if you don't want to do another Thor movie, fine. Also, by the way, end credit scene in Love and Thunder. I'm sorry, are we going to talk about Hercules? Are we going to talk about Hercules?
Yeah.
Like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen with Brett Goldstein Hercules? Like, I would like to see that fight. I really would.
We haven't seen any of that yet, have we?
I kind of want to know.
We have not.
I kind of want to know.
I don't think.
Oh, Sean, what are you thinking over there, buddy? What are you thinking?
Sorry, I just think Love and Thunder was an interesting diversion for this franchise. And I don't think the next movie, the way it's set it up, right, is you imagine Thor is running around with his daughter and doing adventures that way, and maybe that could be a good movie. Maybe that would be something we care about. However, like the way that audiences reacted to Ant-Man Quantumania with Ant-Man and his daughter working out, it just seems a little weird to do the same thing. That's distracting. I don't think we're
They
gonna.
usually make a comparison between me and the image. So you should be happy that you didn't get
Yeah.
hated on.
I don't think we'll see Hercules, and I thought that was Thank you. Yes, I really need this back in my life.
Much
I don't
better.
think we're gonna see Roy Kent Hercules again. I think
I
that was
want
fan
to, though.
service.
I
I
really
know.
want to.
I would love it. It was a great
He's
little
great.
gag. It wasn't spoiled before it. I just don't see how a Hercules would be introduced into the Marvel universe at this point.
Yeah, I don't really know if they can do more. I mean, with that, at least bring him back into the ensemble stuff, but integrating the daughter is a big choice. It really was. So I don't know
so
where they can
dumb.
actually go with that. Will it work? Mike, what do you think? Do you think that he should keep going? What do you think? You think he should keep busting those muscles out and kicking some ass?
These are two different questions, whether or not he should be working in these movies and whether or not he should be busting these muscles out and kicking some ass. Clearly,
Not
Chris
really.
Hemsworth should be busting these muscles out and kicking ass. That's something that he should be doing, irrespective of whether or not he's working in videography of any sort, or whether he's saving cats out of trees. Like, he should still be doing the exact same thing. What I think is happening here, because Ragnarok was dope as hell, right? Did we
So good.
expect it? Like, Thor 1 and 2, I fell asleep during repeatedly, literally. Thor was also good. I like that one too. I think the fact it's fair enough. I enjoyed it.
My question is, why the fuck you're gonna bring Natalie Portman back while she's like about to die and fucking I just the whole, it was so not necessary. So not necessary. He doesn't need a love like, why are you? It's like they're forcing this upon you for no fucking reason.
I can't defend the writers role. My note that I made a moment
But why
ago,
did you like it? I'm asking you personally. Like, why? Like, you
You're
thought that
asking me to
storyline was
remember
cool?
that far back? The only thing that I can remember is that when I was
Is that you liked it?
in the theater, in the moment, like, is that yeah, I felt okay. It's actually the thought process is when I'm walking out of the theater, when I move into daylight. I watch a lot of movies during the day. When I move from the darkness into the daylight, I think, oh,
How was that?
okay. How was that? That was okay. Yes. And I had a level of positivity
Brian,
with that
what
particular movie.
did I say when we left that movie?
You were not happy.
I said that was fucking terrible, is what I said.
Yeah. It wasn't
Which is
terrible.
a lot, because I loved Ragnarok. It was terrible.
It's a lot to live up to, Ragnarok.
There was no reason.
Expectations are
massive reshoot.
Why
It couldn't have been
bringing-
higher. Absolutely, yeah.
Why are you bringing Kat Dennon and fucking Natalie Portman back into this bullshit? It is not fucking necessary. They're trying to do that overlap Star Wars bullshit, and it didn't fucking work. And
Didn't work.
But if you go into the theater and then there are flashing lights,
I was in the theater.
Flashing
lights. That's what I'm saying. That's
you know what my favorite part of that movie was.
Out of
my favorite part of that movie was the beginning.
It's happening in front of me.
The beginning with the Guardians of the
Guardians?
Galaxy.
That was good.
And Roy fucking Kent at the end playing Hercules. Those are my two favorite moments of the movie. The rest of it can go fuck itself. And I love
Russell Crowe was pretty good in this, actually. Russell Crowe was pretty good.
I'm not a fan of him, but he was good. You're correct. You are correct.
Yeah, he was pretty good. But I mean, that's the thing.
That's what all the God stuff. You get like, oh, somebody right in the beginning being shafted by a god, and then you got to go kill all the gods. Like, that's some gnarly primal stuff. Oh, Sean, are we gonna just have cat talk now?
And also, like,
that's what I want to have now.
How many expectations you have
Thor,
with Kristen Bale, like, being the fucking, like, that's the, like, how are you? I thought it was gonna be like so amazing, and it was so disappointing.
The question I want to know is, why are you coming out with opinions when you're getting $10 million paychecks? Which is, I think,
Well,
the only
You're
reason
getting
I can
paid
imagine.
great.
The only reason
he can
I
get a
imagine
$10
for
million
this-
paycheck anywhere. He doesn't have to get it at Marvel because he's Chris fucking Hemsworth. Is he Chris Hemsworth? Which Hemsworth is he?
don't know.
Yeah,
that
he's
that's-
Chris
that's a
Hemsworth. He
fact.
is.
Okay, good. I don't know.
Maybe
There's so
that's a
many of
fact,
them. I can't
Sabrina.
keep straight.
It may be a
He's-
fact, but maybe it's not a fact. I don't know that for a fact.
He just did a show that was.
I think he's pumping Extraction too. I think that's why
Dude,
he
he
is
is pumping,
at
but he
all.
also did a show where he like almost died every episode. I'm sure they paid him a lot of money for that.